Hello brew tubers, you join me in the brew shed for the first brew day of 2018. Exciting stuff. So what have I decided to brew on the first brew day of 2018? Well, I've decided to brew a stout, and not any old stout, a stout which recipe I have designed myself, which is a very bold move really. It's in the Bulldog Brewer at the moment, mashing away. So that's at 68 degrees Celsius for an hour and a half. The grain bill reads as thus. As I said, something I've come up with. I don't know how it's going to turn out. 4 kilograms of pale malt, good base I think. 500 grams of chocolate malt. 500 grams of crystal malt. 200 grams of flake barley and 400 grams of Carafa 3 malt. So that's in there at the moment. So I've no idea if it's going to turn out well or not, but we'll see. Also probably going to add some malted dextrose bodybuilder, and I'm umming and ahhing about adding lactose. I'm worried it might be a little bit too bitter because of all the dark malts in there, so I may add that just to balance it, but we'll see. Hop additions, no bittering hops, but I will add some Challenger hops in the last stage of the boil, probably about 40 grams or so, 35 to 40 grams, and then I shall dry hop with Galaxy hops. Sort of a week in the fermentation. Going to be using the trusty old Ringwood Ale yeast. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's very much an experimental beer, and I've no idea if it's going to turn out well or not. We shall see. I chose Galaxy and Challenger because it sort of has a space theme, a dark, like black hole, night sky beer sort of thing, themed, but this is a little sample of it. That is black. Let's just compare. This is another stout I made. That's the mud stout. You can see it's a lot darker, and it's yeah, quite thick even at this early stage. Still, it's not bad. A very sweet sort of black treacle taste at the moment, so yeah, we'll see what happens. I shall show you a little bit of what's happening inside here. I haven't got any video of mashing in though. I actually do have one small clip which you can see now. So the first malt additions to the stout are going in. I've got 500 grams of crystal malt and 500 grams of chocolate malt. My trusty stirry spoon. Give that a good stir. Lovely job. So that's just a little clip of me stirring in the chocolate and crystal malt into the Bulldog Brewer. And the rest of the malt pretty much went in the same way. Stir it, and recirculate it. The sparging will happen shortly. So you can see it's a very, very black beer. I'm going to switch that off in a sec. And time for the old spargerooning. So just pouring the hot water, about 80 degrees Celsius, on the sparge plate. I'll carry on doing this until I've reached about 27 litres or so, 28 litres of wort. So we are at the start of the boil. I've decided I will add a small quantity of bittering hops, 10 grams of Challenger at 90 minutes to go. So yeah, 90-minute boil. I'll add some proto flock 15 minutes towards the end, and another 30 grams of Challenger. Right, it's the last 15 minutes of the boil. One proto flock tablet going in. Bubble, bubble, bubble. And 35 grams of Challenger hops as well. So yeah, 15 minutes, and then flame out, and I'll put the wort chiller in. So now is a good time to add the malted dextrose and the lactose. So I'm just going to pour that in and give it a stir. And now adding the lactose. The old stir out and give that a good stir in. Right, so it's flame out. The Bulldog brewer has been switched off. Recirculation has commenced, and the wort chiller is running. So wait for that to get down to temperature, then pop it into the fermentation bucket. So there is the hydrometer. I'll make that about 1076 thereabouts, so nice and high. Should end up a nice strong beer, hopefully. And there is the beer transferred into fermentation vessel. Ringwood ale yeast has been pitched, so it's just a case of waiting now until it's ready. So yeah, leave that 2 weeks and see what happens. Right, so that's the end of brew day. Just got the tidying up to do now. The Bulldog brew is very sticky with stickiness. Got to clean out the hop spider and the wort chiller as well, and just have a final tidy up. So yeah, tidy up time next. In terms of the beer, as you saw it, finished up at 1076 on the hydrometer, which is a good strong amount, I think. It'll be interesting to see how far down it goes with the ale yeast. I'll make sure that the beer is on a heater pad, just so it's nice and warm in the shed. And yeah, we'll come back in about 4 or 5 days time, add the Galaxy hops, and then leave it another week and bottle it. So yeah, all fun times and things and such. So yes, the next time you'll see me, I'll be adding some Galaxy hops to the beer. Okay then, brew tubers, it is Thursday. I brewed the stout on Saturday, so I think it's a good time now to add the dry hop additions. I've got 45 grams of Galaxy hops. Smell lovely, they do. So let's put it in the beer. Right, so the beer's coming on nicely, and just adding the hops. Lovely job. Right, so the beer has finished fermenting, and I'm just transferring it into the bottling bucket. All the bottles have been sanitised there. And over here is the fermentation vessel. So the beer ended up at 1026, so it makes it about a 6.6% beer. So since I saw you last, the Galaxy Stout has been bottled, and I've done the labels for it as well. It's had about 3 weeks to condition. I probably want to leave it a bit longer, but yeah, I thought it was about time to get this video uploaded. So there is the brew there, as you can see, Galaxy Stout. 6.6% it came out at. So let's open it up. Good amount of hiss and candle smoke. Oh, very tropical on the nose. Pour away. So it's carved up quite well. Got a nice sort of beige head there. Got a 3-finger head. You really get a strong hop aroma from it. Also, you've got a lot of foam at the moment, but you can taste that like passion fruit, tropical fruit smell from the Galaxy hops. And there is a slight, on the undertones, there is that roasted smell to it as well, but prominently it's the passion fruit, Galaxy hop, sort of fruity tropical aroma, and then subtle hints of roasted malts underneath that. That is a very good beer to sniff. Anyway, let's stop sniffing this stuff and let's get tasting. It's unusual, to say the least. What to make of it? It starts off with a sort of like quite a bitter initial taste. And then it sort of splits into 2 levels of taste. You have a fruity high-end note from the hop. It's got sweetness to it as well, from the lactose, I'd imagine. But it's also got a very dark, roasted undertone. So it's quite like the smell, I suppose. But it's a very vivid beer. The sort of flavours aren't subtle at all. They're sort of sledgehammering. It's hot. It's all right for a first attempt at a completely made up recipe, and quite a radical one at that. A stout with hops, with a Galaxy hops in. It's not turned out badly at all. Almost has an almost slightly sour taste to it as well. Not in like a infected batch sort of taste, but that is interesting. I do have a couple of bottles available for beer in there if anyone wants to try it. As I said, it's It's an interesting beer. Got a nice body to it as well. It's about right for a stout. That's sort of not slightly thick, but it's not like treacle. But it's just about right. Yeah, it's very curious. Oh dear. Yeah, it's got quite a, say, sort of very fruity, tropical fruit flavour. Carbonation level is almost perfect, I'd say. Good amount of sweetness, and finishes on a nice roasted note. So, yeah, overall I'm fairly pleased with how it's worked out. So yeah, grain to glass. That's the first brew of 2018. Ready to drink. Galaxy Stout. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you're interested in trying it, let me know and I'll see if I can get you a bottle. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Au revoir.